because this is important stuff you need, especially if you struggle with depression or low self-esteem. You need to apply these to your life. Well, if you know how to make yourself happy and you start controlling your own happiness, nobody can tell you anything. Okay, so today I just kind of thought about this video kind of sporadically, so if it's a little all over the place, just forgive me, because literally I'm just like, okay, I have this idea, I have this vision, I'm just trying to get to it. I'm not trying to wait, because literally every time I wait, it's like you forget it and you just don't have the passion that's still there. And this is going to be like a half get ready with me. As you can see, like, my hair is kind of curly, the back is kind of straight, so I'm just going to be just curling my hair while I'm talking to you. So today I'm going to be talking about probably one of the most important, I'm going to be talking about one of the most important things that I can talk about on this channel. It's kind of more so about self-love. It's about being the most happy and authentic version of you that you can be. You have to really invest in your own happiness, and that's something that I'm learning more as I get older, about how important happiness really is. It sounds obvious, but sometimes it's not so obvious. Quote that. I'm going to give you some tips that have worked for me. This is like all been personal to me. I'm not just going to give you guys some random tips that I found online. I'm going to actually use the tips that I use on a day-to-day basis and that work for me. First, you have to know yourself. You have to know yourself, because you cannot do any of this if you do not know yourself. You cannot love yourself without knowing yourself. How can you love someone that you don't really get to know? Typically, when you learn more about yourself, you end up loving more about yourself, and you end up being more compassionate about your situation. So the first step is just learning yourself. Take the time out of your day every day to ask yourself questions. And this may sound really crazy, but it's really important to talk to yourself sometimes. No matter how this sounds and no matter how it may look, I think it's really important for you to just check in with yourself. Make sure that you have that alone time every day. Every day I have a morning routine. I get up, I take a shower, and I do my makeup. And in this time, and also I listen to music, but in this time I'm really connecting to myself. I'm really trying to hype myself up. This is kind of my meditation period, and I have 2 of these a day. So I'll do it first in the morning. No, I have 3 of these a day. First in the morning when I first get up and I do my morning routine. I wake up, I do my morning routine. That kind of gets me in my mind frame for the day. Your morning routine is so important, because it will literally determine the rest of your day. Get up, do my morning routine, and then I go to class, do whatever I have to do throughout the day. And then at night, or like after I've gotten everything done, like I've done my work, I've done my school, I've done everything, I'll go for a walk or a jog, depending on how I'm feeling. It's usually a walk. I don't know why I just lied and told you it's a jog. It's not a jog. During this time, I got my earbuds in, and I'm really just reflecting on my day. I'm reflecting on myself. And sometimes I'll just take that time to clear my mind. Like, I won't even think. Like, I'll just listen to music and just walk. And I'll get myself into my body. Getting into your body, I think that's going to be number 2. Get into your body. Literally, I think one of the main causes of depression is just your mindset and overthinking. And so if you get yourself into your body, and what this means is exercising, dancing, stretching. Like, how is my body feeling right now? What do I need to do to get out of my head? And I feel like getting into your body, like, I was a cheerleader growing up. My default into getting out of my head is getting into something athletic. And I feel like that's a really good, thank God I have that. It's a really good outlet that I use, because before I used to use really unhealthy, to say in the least, outlets on how to relieve my stress and relieve my steam. And now I'll just go for a walk. Being present in the moment, not caring about anything around you, just kind of being centered. And that's my daily meditation when I walk. It's just getting out of my head. I always do this with intention. Sometimes I'll walk to get out of my head, so I'll just put my music in and I'll just vibe out and I'll enjoy it and I'll just walk. And then sometimes I'll purposely just reflect on my day and just ask myself, you know, how am I feeling right now? How did this make me feel? Because there's a lot of times where I'll go for a walk right after I'm feeling really insecure or uncomfortable or angered, and that's just to kind of release some of that energy. I'm really hot, y'all. I'm sorry. It's really hot in here. I got these lights, this ring light on me, so it's like I can't breathe. Matter cannot be an energy. More importantly, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Therefore, if you have this negative energy stored up in yourself, you need to transmute that energy some way, somehow. And I might do a video on transmuting your energy. If you know what I mean, then you know how important this is. Your negative emotion will not go away by you not doing anything. You have to get it out. You have to cry. You have to exercise. You have to do something to transmute that energy. You just got to get stuff flowing inside of you. You can't keep stuff locked in, because that is really kind of mess with your mental health in a negative way. Number 3, do something every day that is catering to you. And this comes back to knowing yourself. This is all kind of circle back to knowing yourself. Because if you know yourself, you know how to cater to yourself. You know what you like, you know what you don't like, you know what you need. So once you truly take that time to get to know your likes, your dislikes, what triggers you, how you overcome the triggers, how you make yourself happy, ooh, that's so important. That's so important. Because then you're unstoppable. If you know how to make yourself happy and you start controlling your own happiness, nobody can tell you anything. Once you get to that point where you can regulate your own happiness, you're just living. You're just living. You're just going by. You're doing life, and you're doing it hard. And that's such a beautiful thing. This is something that I'm thankfully just now starting to experience, and I'm telling you, it's the best thing ever. It's the best feeling ever. It goes back to kind of number 4, which is own your own happiness. Own you. I think Jeannie Mai said this. Own you before they do. You're responsible for your own happiness. Let me really tell you this straight. You control your own happiness. And I remember for the longest time I would hear this and I would be like, no you don't, because literally people will piss you off and people will do things that'll really bother you. They will, but going back, once you know yourself and you know how to make yourself happy, then in those moments when you're starting to feel uncomfortable as a result of the people around you, you can kind of go back into your head and say, okay Taylor, how can I make myself happy right now? Whatever your name is, say, how can I make myself happy right now? Because I'm not feeling comfortable. And then you make yourself happy. And then boom. It's like, it sounds like it's something that's like easier said than done, but once you actually get into that routine, it's easier said than done. No. It's easy. It's easier than it sounds like it might not. You get what I'm saying. Everything gets easier with practice. But volunteer. This, I believe, was everything. Second to knowing myself, this was everything. Is doing things to help other people. This gets you out of your own head. It gets you out of like, oh my god, and it's like you stop focusing on the little nitpicky things about your life. So this past summer I volunteered with children and adults with special needs. Most of them were on the autism spectrum. It's like being an empath and a highly sensitive person times 500. So I was a counselor for them, so it was my responsibility to know them better than they knew themselves. So I would have to keep in track in my mind, like, okay, so what type of things trigger them? What things make them happy? What things make them sad? What type of things do they like to do? Like, I had to pretty much keep a mental log of all these things about them to keep them happy. It was my responsibility as a counselor to keep my participant happy. That's what we call them, participants. And I would have to do this 14 hours a day. Like, I would work long hours, and during those 14 hours, literally my mind was not on me. My mind was specifically on them. And this is so beneficial. This is so beneficial. It gets you out of your own head. It triggers your intuition, which is like the place where it's like you just trust yourself and you just go with the flow. It gets you out of your head, and you need to practice it. Like, I did this for 3 months straight. 3 months straight. So after 21 days, I'm sure you've heard things become a habit. So if you take the purposeful initiative to get yourself out of your own head and stop caring so much about the little nitpicky things about yourself, it's about what can I give and not so much what can I get. Once I got to that point, I was so much happier. When we get depressed, we're just thinking about, oh my god, everything is wrong with me, and then it's just like me, and that's putting so much pressure on you, especially if you're a perfectionist, to just be perfect. It's not perfect. And I think volunteering really teaches you that there are people out there who have things so much worse than you, and there are people out there who can only wish and imagine what it would be like to have your life. Some people are getting abused every day. Some people are unable to regulate their own emotions. Some people are feeling uncomfortable every second of every day. There are people who are going through so much. So it just makes you so grateful. And it's not saying that your struggles are not valid and they're not important. It just makes you grateful. It just makes you really grateful about what you have. And gratitude is so important. Whew, man, that kind of made me emotional. Do things that you used to do as a kid that would make you happy. So growing up, I drew a lot. I loved art. I would draw, and I would type up like novels, and I would dance, and I would play games. Those things like really made me so happy throughout my childhood. So it's about really taking a time, whether it's your childhood or not, taking points in time in your life where something just made you happy, and you did it just because you wanted to do it, just because it made you happy. Take the time for that. I feel like when we grow up, we get so serious and we stop enjoying the little things in life, stop catering to ourselves, and we're so focused on, oh, get this get this money. And you really focus on just making yourself happy. Like, there's a little kid inside of all of us, and I feel like catering to the child in you is so important, because when you're a child, you're at your most authentic self. You're not caring about everybody else. All you want to do is have fun, right? So take the time to really cater to the child in you. Do something that you used to do when you were a child. Listen to music that you used to play as a child. Play some High School Musical. Play some whatever it was that really made your childhood feel magical, or whatever time period it was. Do that again. Get that feeling going. You know, don't be so serious all the time. Don't take yourself or life too serious. And the last one I'm gonna say for this video is mind your own business. Mind your own business. This is so important, because I feel like, especially as empaths and highly sensitive people, we can find ourselves just jumping into other people's psyche. Like, literally, like, we can find ourselves hyper focused on other people. When you do that, you have to redirect your thought into something else. And we'll get more into that in a later video. When you find yourself, literally, I said this was gonna be a get ready with me. I have not gotten ready at all because I'm so focused on making this video. You really have to not worry about other people, because literally, this sounds like you're being selfish when you say this, because it's like, okay, if I'm not worried about other people, then I'm not worried about anything that they're going through, yada yada yada. But you have to fill you up first. Remember that little saying that they say on the plane, help yourself before you help others. Put your own oxygen mask on before you put somebody else's on. You have to be your fullest self to truly give your fullest light. Take care of you first. I feel like when you're all up in everybody else's business, you're kind of, in a way, neglecting yourself. And also, when you do this, you tend to compare yourself to other people. Comparison is the thief of all happiness. You will never be satisfied comparing yourself to people. Like, focus on you, period. Only compare yourself to yourself. What are those things called that horses have in order to keep them looking straight? That's what you need. You need those blinders on. Not getting so involved in things like gossip, or things like just being judgmental, period. Focus on you. Focus on you. Don't live for other people. And that's something I struggled with for a long time, is I wouldn't even want to like do things like put on makeup. Like, if I knew that I wasn't going to go anywhere, I wouldn't put on makeup, or just little stuff like that. like little stuff that I'm doing just for other people. Do things for you. Do things for you. Don't wait on an audience. Focus on the reasons and the intentions why. Are you doing this because this fills you up inside? Are you doing this because this makes you happy? You know, are you comparing yourself only to yourself and speaking to yourself with compassion and saying, you know what, I used to be like this, but now I'm so much better. Like, hype yourself up, because once I can fill my own cup up, I can pour a little bit into everybody else. And that's what I want to do. I want to help people, but I can't do that, and you can't do that unless you're full. Really cater to yourself as if you were your own child. Really cater to you. And not in a narcissistic way, but in a way that is full of love, because you deserve that. Okay, this is, I'm gonna stop it right here. I feel like it's so important what I'm saying, because it's the things that have kept me out of depression. I used to get so depressed so much, and it was because my focus was off. My focus was wrong. My mindset was off. And so if you really take the tips that I'm saying and you apply them, I guarantee you it's gonna change your life.
I like to kill him softly.
I didn't even do my hair. Literally, I have so many steps because it's a lot. Did I just delete it? Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Y'all, I just deleted it.